If you've been trying to heal, grow, or stay consistent, but you still don't feel safe inside yourself, this video is for you. Because real healing doesn't start with discipline or motivation, it starts with safety. Hi, my name is Tanish. I'm a hypnotherapist, and today we are going to talk about how to become your own safe space. Section 1: What it actually means to be your own safe place. Being your own safe place doesn't mean you feel good all the time, and it definitely doesn't mean that nothing affects you. Safety doesn't remove discomfort, it changes how you relate to it. When you feel emotionally safe with yourself, you can feel disappointment, embarrassment, or stress without turning against yourself. You don't spiral or shame yourself. You don't make it mean something about who you are. It's a regulated, aware state where thoughts are just noticed but not automatically believed. The inner critic might still show up, but it doesn't get to run the system anymore. Safety is your ability to return to calm after something stressful, to let your nervous system settle instead of staying stuck in fight or flight long after the moment has passed. Here's what it looks like in real life. You have an important presentation and you mess up a little. It doesn't go as well as you hoped. But instead of turning against yourself, shaming yourself, or spiraling in embarrassment, you acknowledge what happened. You take responsibility, you notice what needs improvement, and then you let it go. You don't attach your self worth to that one moment. And now here's the flip side. You gave a presentation and it goes better than you expected. You get praised by your coworkers and your manager. You let yourself feel proud, but you don't inflate your identity around it either. And this part matters. Real safety won't find you if you get too attached to praise, because then you won't be able to detach from criticism either. They're two sides of the same coin. Safety means your worth doesn't rise with success or fall with failure. It's internal, it's stable. Section 2: Why discipline fails without emotional safety. When I used to hear the word discipline, I had a very specific image in my mind: being exhausted, being in pain, but pushing through anyway, because that's what discipline is supposed to look like, right? Wrong. And don't get me wrong, discipline is important. In fact, it's one of the most important things you can learn. It's the foundation of any meaningful life. But that version of discipline, that's the kind of discipline athletes need who are training for a trophy, or people in the army, or people focused on a singular end goal. Most of us aren't training to be athletes or join the army. Most of us are living lives that are demanding in other ways. For most people, life already comes with pressure: bills to pay, jobs to show up to, chores to finish, responsibilities to carry. There is already enough mental load. When discipline is layered on top of that as punishment or self force, it doesn't build consistency. It builds resentment and burnout. Here's the part that matters: human beings are wired for comfort. You're not going to feel like working out every day. You're not going to feel motivated to work on your goals every day. And that doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. Discipline fails when it's built on a go hard or go home mindset, because internally that teaches your nervous system that growth equals threat. And when something feels like a threat, your system will eventually resist it. So I had to redefine discipline. Now, when I think of discipline, I don't picture suffering. I picture clarity. I picture a regulated nervous system, focused work, strong body, and enough space to rest. Yes, rest. Productivity and rest go hand in hand. Without rest, productivity isn't sustainable. Here's how I reframed discipline: I don't work out of force. I work out because I respect the version of me who wants to feel energetic and alive. I meditate not because the internet says I should, but because starting my day in silence makes it easier to return to inner stillness when life gets loud. I work on my goals not because I'm chasing hustle or approval, but because creating a life my 8-year-old self and my 80-year-old self would be proud of requires my current self to show up. And out of everyone in the world, I don't want to disappoint them. When discipline comes from safety, it becomes devotion. Devotion to your body, devotion to your future, devotion to the life you're building. And one of the most important parts of this is self validation. When I show up, especially when it's uncomfortable, I acknowledge myself. I tell myself I'm proud of myself. Because every time you validate yourself, you stop outsourcing your worth. You stop chasing validation from the outside world. And that, my friend, builds internal safety. Section 3, Reparenting Yourself. This is a big topic, so I'll just touch on the basics. Most of us are carrying emotional patterns formed in childhood. They made sense back then, but many of us are still living from them now. Our parents carried their own conditioning and their own trauma, and as children, we saw them as the source of truth. As adults, though, we begin to see them as fellow humans who did the best they could but didn't always get it right. This isn't about blame, it's about responsibility. Because as adults, if we don't take responsibility for our lives, there's no one else who's going to do it for us, and no one else is going to soothe for us. And here's something important: no one lives in your body and your mind except you. Something that felt deeply painful to you might seem small to your caregiver. And when that happens, you can grow up believing that what you're feeling is wrong, which is strange because how can a feeling be wrong? Reparenting means becoming the adult who listens to yourself, who believes in yourself, who responds with compassion instead of criticism. And that's where consistency becomes possible. Not through force, but through care, over and over and over again. Reparenting yourself is noticing yourself struggle and choosing support instead of self attack. It's making a mistake and offering yourself grace instead of shame. It's noticing your emotions without trying to control them, fix them, label them as good or bad, and simply taking information from them. It's talking to yourself kindly. It's making time for the things your inner child enjoyed. It's basically creating an internal home where you're always welcomed for all that you are, good, bad, and ugly, and learning to accept all parts of yourself. Section 4, How to Soothe Yourself Without Disassociating. One of the greatest skills you can learn is how to self soothe in healthy ways. Because when we don't know how to soothe ourselves, we don't actually rest, we just numb ourselves. And that's when we turn to doom scrolling. That's when we turn to binge eating and bed rotting, jumping from one distraction to another and still feeling unsatisfied. And the reason nothing feels satisfying is because the relief you are seeking isn't stimulation. It's the ability to sit with discomfort without running from it. Discomfort won't kill you, but constantly avoiding it will exhaust you. Here's what it looks like: you've had a long, stressful day. You're mentally tired and emotionally drained. Distraction looks like this: you come home, you lie on the couch, and you start scrolling. Hours pass, and then you start feeling guilty. And then you scroll more to avoid feeling guilty. You compare your life to others online and feel even worse. Then you start eating mindlessly, you just binge eat, and then you start feeling bad again. And then it's just a constant loop. You just feel overstimulated, you just want to numb yourself with something or the other. Then your bedtime arrives, you go to bed overstimulated, you sleep and your sleep isn't good, and you wake up and you wonder, why are you feeling sad? Self soothing looks like this: you come home and you say, today was a lot. You acknowledge it. You drink a glass of water, you put some water on to boil, you lie down and you close your eyes for 5 minutes. If silence feels uncomfortable, you play some calming music. You breathe slowly and deeply. Something shifts. You make tea, you take a long warm shower, not to rush through it, but to actually feel it. You change into comfortable clothes and you feel better, more grounded, more clear. This is what self soothing looks like and feels like. And from this regulated place, you decide what you want next. Section 4, Create a routine that works for you. Regulation isn't about perfect routines, but it is about creating some sort of routine that regulates you. For me, I do movers, which includes meditation, oxygenation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. So it looks like a few minutes of silence, deep breathing, visualizing my higher self, movement, journaling, and reading. Some days it's more, some days it's minimal, and that's okay. It's not about perfection, it's about showing up. Your routine doesn't need to look like mine, but you need a routine that regulates you. You can never go wrong with starting your day in silence. If you don't know where to begin, you can make walks your routine or even writing whatever is on your mind. Anything that works for you. Routine and safety are more connected than you realize. And routine is one of the healthiest ways to regulate yourself. Take few deep breaths every few hours. Use less phone when you are at work. In fact, avoid doom scrolling as much as you can. Let yourself be bored. Boredom isn't a problem, it's a muscle. And when you let that muscle grow, your nervous system becomes calmer, clearer, and more grounded. If there's anything you want to take from this video, let it be this. Learn to sit with your discomfort. It won't kill you, but constantly ignoring it will. If this video made you feel calmer or more seen, that's your nervous system responding to safety. And that's something you can learn to give yourself. Thank you for watching. Like this video, subscribe to this channel for more content like this, and share it with someone you think will benefit from this video. Thank you.